Hey, what is going on? I have recently experienced one of the most random encounters I've ever had. Just something, it was a situation I could not have imagined prior to this. Nothing life changing, nothing catastrophic. Nobody was endangered, but it was just really, really odd, and I'd like to tell you about it. So the other day I got home from work, and when I got home, I noticed some police in the street talking to somebody by their cars, and didn't think too much about it. And I get home, I'm starting to unwind from work, and our dogs start to bark. And when they usually bark, they it's because someone's at the door. So the first thing I thought is the police are at the door going to question me about something the neighbors have done, which I don't really want to get into the neighbors' business. I don't interact with the neighbors that I thought the police were talking to at the time. We just don't communicate with each other. But that's beside the point. The dogs are barking. I'm telling them to be quiet. I look out my front window towards my front door, and I don't see anybody there. So maybe the dogs are just imagining this. So I go back to whatever I was doing, and the dogs start barking again like crazy. Once again, I look out the front window, don't see anybody, but I open the front door to see if anybody's there anyway. Hopefully it wasn't a police officer asking me about whatever is happening with the police across the street or the neighbors. I open the door, and there's this little old lady standing there that I didn't recognize. She must have been in her 70s, probably 4 foot, nothing. And I asked her, hello, can I help you? And she asked me if I'm Tom somebody. She gives me the last name, but I don't want to put it on this video. Are you Tom so-and-so? I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm not. And she goes on to explain, she kind of rambles, but she goes on to explain that there's a bed in her front yard, and it's been there a while. And she then explains to me that with the bed, a box spring was with it also, and somebody had come and taken the box spring or the bed, whatever, either way, had taken one of the two mattresses from her yard. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not that person. That's unfortunate. I can't really help you. And I'm thinking, this is really strange. I don't know all my neighbors on my block, but I've never seen this person before. And I didn't really have the presence of mind to ask, where she lived, if she had reported this to the police or whoever. And she mentions that maybe she'll have to call UPS and have them pick it up. I was like, okay, I'm sorry, once again, I can't really help you. So I close the door. And as I think about it, I'm trying to put this together to make some kind of sense. And with the best scenario I could come up with is that this person lives in the neighborhood, and somebody had put a box spring and a mattress in her yard with with this person's name on it with a shipping label of some sort. And the more I thought about it, I thought maybe that this person, Tom so-and-so, maybe had this bed delivered online to his house. Some porch pirates took it from his house, took it across town, several cities away, and maybe panicked and left it in this person's yard. And the local police, I imagine, would see that maybe there's a bed and two mattresses in somebody's yard. Wouldn't necessarily raise any red flags, which I understand that. It's like, well, people have things delivered all the time. And the more I thought about it, that would probably be the same, somewhat similar scenario wherever this bed might have originated from. Maybe this person had it delivered to their house. It was stolen. This person reported it stolen, but it's not going to be sought after, I imagine, much further than the city limits that this person lives in. So once I thought and put this together, I thought maybe I'll cruise around my neighborhood and look for a house that has a mattress in the yard. It shouldn't be too hard to identify that. And like I said, I didn't recognize this person. I didn't I've never seen this person before that came to my door. But I thought I'd go around the neighborhood and check it out. And I drove around for at least half an hour. And I live in a small town. It doesn't take long to go around the neighborhood. And I drove around for about half an hour. I didn't see a house with a bed in it. And the more I thought about it, it's like the scenario that I came up with in my head made total sense. This person had a bed delivered to the house. Somebody stole it, took it, and couldn't quite figure out what to do with it, and they left it in somebody's yard where I live, where I assumed this lady lived also. So I checked on Facebook, and there is several people with this name Tom, and like I said, I won't give his last name. And one person actually lives fairly close to me, a few miles away, probably actually 30 or 40 miles away, which it's within reason if somebody took it from their house and brought it, like, we panicked, we don't know what to do with this, they left it in my neighborhood somewhere. So I literally reached out to this person, Tom, that I would assume would be the most likely, not suspect, most likely to have had this happen to them. And I contacted them on Facebook, and I said, you don't know me, we don't know each other. I have a really bizarre question. Have you had a bed recently delivered to your house that you bought online that was stolen? And so I'm waiting to see if this person responds, and maybe I can give them some closure if this scenario is actually true. But I never did find the bed in the neighborhood. I haven't seen that person that came to my door, this older lady, since then, and never have seen her before that I remember. But it was a totally bizarre thing. This lady comes to my door, asks me if I'm so-and-so, and starts to talk about a bed that's in her yard, and now that somebody's taken one of the two mattresses, and it just struck me as totally bizarre and totally random. So I thought I would share this little story with you, and hopefully this Tom contacts me on Facebook and doesn't think I'm a total psycho asking him if he had a bed stolen that he bought online. It does sound kind of bizarre, but so hopefully I can follow up with this and provide Tom with some closure. Even though I don't know where the bed is, maybe I can let him know that it ended up in my neighborhood somewhere, and in fact it was stolen, if that is the case at all. So I don't know. I just thought this was a totally random thing. Some lady shows up to my door and asks me if I'm so-and-so and if I have a bed, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, thanks for listening. If I do get a response from Tom or whoever, if I do see this lady again, I don't know if I'll approach her. Probably doesn't remember me from 10 minutes after she left my doorstep. So I probably wouldn't approach her anyway. So, thanks for watching, and if I do get contacted by Tom, I'll follow up with another video. Thanks.